Now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, we'll be introducing our friend in here. You can see that on your top. And then now, we will be deliver about the principle of language assessment. Let's get started.
Practicality. It can be simply defined as the relationship between available resources for the test. It can be human resources, material resources, time, etc. For the test, it can be practical in cost, time, administration, and scoring or evaluation. For the cost, it means that the test should not be too expensive to conduct, and the cost for the test has to stay within the budget, and also avoid conducting a test that requires excessive budget. And then for the time, means that the test should stay within the appropriate time constraints, and also the test should not be too long or too short, so students will not be bored in doing the test in a long time. For the third is practical in administrations, means that the test should not be too complicated or complex to conduct, and the test should be quite simple to administer. For the last is practical in scoring or evaluation, means that the scoring or evaluation process should fit into the time allocation, and the test should be accompanied with scoring rubrics, key answers, and so on to make sure that the test is easy and simple to score or evaluate.
Reliability refers to consistency and dependability. A test is considered reliable when we get the same result repeatedly. There are many factors affecting reliability. The first is student-related reliability. This kind of reliability refers to student personal factors such as illness, anxiety, and then motivation can hinder from their real performance. And the second factor is radar reliability. It deals with the scoring process. This kind of reliability falls into two categories. The first is inter-radar reliability. It occurs when two or more scores get inconsistent scores of the same text. And the second one is intra-radar reliability. It's common occurrence for classroom teachers because of unclear scoring criteria and bias toward particular good or bad students. And the third factor is test administration reliability. It's concerned with the condition and situation in which the test is administered. The teacher as the administrator should consider all the things related to the test administrator. For instance, if we want to conduct a listening test, we should provide a room which is very comfortable to listening environment. And the second one factor is test reliability. It deals with the duration of the test and test instruction. If a test takes a long time to do, it may affect the test taker performance, such as fatigue, confusing, and exhaustion. Thank you.
Here I would like to explain to you about the validity. Validity is the task in assessment that to examine the extent of the test itself, which should be measured with the unit of the study being tested. It aims to provide the external knowledge with the particular skills at the same time. So here is there were 5 ways to establish the validity itself. For the first one is the content of validity. Content validity is the assessment method to measure the content of the test with the language skills, structures, and etc. But the content validity is not based on any empirical data with concrete evidence proving the validity itself. So the test items should really represent the course objectively. And for the second one is criterion validity. The criterion validity is the assessment that emphasize the relationship between the scores and the outcomes. Criterion validity divided into two categories such as concurrent and predictive validity. Concurrent validity is if the results are supported by the other concurrent performance beyond the assessment itself. And whereas predictive validity is what is that? It is the important in this case of placement tests and admissions assessment and language aptitude and the test itself. And for the third what is that validity is construct validity. So construct validity is the most important of the measures of validity because it refers to the concepts or theories which are underlying the usage of certain ability including language ability. So it shows the result that represent the same construct with the student's ability which is being tested. And then the next the next ways to establish validity will be delivered by my friends Aslam on the next video. Thank you.
Consequential validity refers to the positive and negative social consequences. For example, you have a girlfriend and she wants to have a what do you call it, dinner party or candlelight dinner in one night, and the time is in the end of the month, you got it. And this is a problematically if you accept your girlfriend you will broke, and if you reject your girlfriend she's angry. So this is the sample of consequential validity. And the phase validity, this is the simple method in validity. You just like a skimming when you are reading a text and just skim, and this is have many weakness, but it also the method of validity. Okay, thank you.
Hello, I'd like to explain about authenticity. Authenticity deals with the real world. The goal of authentic assessment is to enhance the learning process and help the students to gain knowledge while completing their tasks that are beneficial to their real-world experiences. So in here, teachers should construct a test with the test item are likely to be used or applied in the real context of daily life. In 2004, Brown proposed consideration that might be helpful to present authenticity in daily life. So first, the language in a test must be as natural as possible. Second, items are contextualized rather than isolated. Third is topics are meaningful, so it must be relevant or interesting to the learners. Fourth, some thematic organization to item is provided, such as through a story or episode. And the last is tasks represent or closely approximate real-world tasks. So, authentic assessment helps students analyze what they've learned. They don't have to memorize facts for a test, so they can use their creativity to show what they've learned.
I would like to share you about the discussion about the washback. And the washback is about the effect of the testing on the teaching and learning based on the Hughes 2003. It's commonly used in applied linguistics, and it's basically found in dictionary in dealing with the perspective of language assessment. These two words somehow can interchangeable. There are two washback that we could be recognizing there sometimes you see. There are positive and negative. So let's start into the positive one. So the positive washback is the teacher and student has a positive attitude toward the examination or test attitude collectively, and the examination or test attitude toward its objective. A good test should have a good effect. And of course, the negative washback is the reverse of that things. It does not give any beneficial influence, can teach and learning. And that's our presentation for this day. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to click like if you like it, and click dislike that if you don't like it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and see you in the next video. Ciao.